Gotta get Nums in here. Test the chin out. I wish there was a way just to start these up without all the technical stuff. But that is not the case. Just give me a sec. Numnizzle87. Alright. Give me one sec. Okay. One sec. Give us num or give us candy, says Killy King. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Killy? Thanks for stopping by this bit. We've sent the invite. This could be a podcast about Nums if he doesn't show up. How you doing, man? How's Sin treating you? Got to get you back on this thing. It's been a long time. Nums.
What up?
I am so sorry for the wait, sir. I've already fired 3 people. Never again.
It's ridiculous.
We do
ridiculous.
Cool Ranch nachos are there on the table. It's been requested.
Yeah, well, somebody already ate them all, so what the fuck? I don't know if it was your previous guest, but this is ridiculous. I'm a voice of a generation. Damn.
Well, yeah, it was Kelly King. Dude, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for jumping on this bitch on short notice. I know we talked about it a minute ago, but
yeah, God, it's been what was it, like fucking multiple? Well, it's been like God, like a year that you've been asking me to jump on this for a while now. Huh?
Yeah, dude.
Hold on. Oh, I need to crack up. Sorry, ready?
I need to stop. There we go.
There we go.
We're in it.
This party started.
Yeah.
Rocking a granola brown ale from.
Let me recrack.
It's dark in here.
Granola brown ale.
A granola brown ale from Black Hog Brewing. Yeah.
Is it like $10 a can?
Oh no, it's not one of those fancy ass things. It's wasn't that bad. It was a mixer. It was like an 18-pack mixer. It wasn't bad.
Shit. Volpe coming in. Numnizzle, my nizzle.
Hype. Lots of Z's there.
Yeah. I was behind somebody in line like a few hours ago, and they bought a 4-pack that was $20. It was like some IPA. It was called
some of this stuff was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
crazy ass prices.
It's like, dude, you should just go to the bar for $20.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like 30 minutes. But
what I actually what I tried not too long ago. I tried last weekend. This past weekend, weekend before, I don't know, some weekend in the last couple. I had tried Old Smoky Moonshine. Have you tried that?
Old Smoky Moonshine. I've seen it. There's the multiple flavors, I believe, right?
Yes. They got pickles in a jar. They got like fruits in a jar. Pineapples soaked in moonshine. That sounds amazing. But I tried. I'm not a huge like banana flavored, liker, I guess. But there's a bananas and cream moonshine that they have that I was severely interested in. That and an apple pie. And I was like, this sounds like it could be. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to taste like shit. And it was the bananas and cream was dangerous. Like
It's too good. Tasted too good.
it. Oh my God. Oh, dude. I was with somebody who is way more of a booze hound than I am, and they tried it, and they were like, "What the hell is there any booze in this at all?" You know, it's one of those you gotta get a mason jar of it. It's like $20 around here, 22 bucks for
Hmm.
a large mason jar full. Stuff was amazing. Try it, you'll like it.
Next thing you know, you're eating banana cream pie, and then you're just like,
Yeah,
"Man, am I?"
exactly.
Nah, dude,
Oh,
I had one
yeah.
like that. It was shots I was doing with my buddy at a bar, but they tasted like
Mm.
peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it tasted like every time you took a shot, it was like you had a bite of a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and like you wanted some milk. And I was like, man, can I get a glass of milk? And then I was like,
Right?
dude, I am fucked.
And a shot like that a few months back at this like arcade bar that we have, in my area. Um, a bunch of like old classic arcade games and cabinets and such, and a like crazy like drink menu that's made to reflect like 90s nostalgia and
Mhm.
like old games and stuff like that. And yeah, there was something like that, like a peanut butter and jelly type thing. And yeah, same idea. Like you haven't, you're like, wow, this is good. This is good. But like, I want a glass of milk, or I want to sit down,
Yeah.
with with a blankie, watch like Saturday morning cartoons or something while I drink it.
Right. And it kind of ruins peanut butter and jelly sandwiches too after that.
Exactly.
Because
You
I'm
know,
like eating them and I'm still eating them and I'm like, where's the buzz at, dude? Like,
exactly. Took the joke right out of my damn mouth.
right. Like, how many PBJs do I got to eat to get fucked up?
Oh man.
Yeah,
So what
it's
do we got? What do we got going on here? Like, like
yeah, I don't know.
I watch, I listen to some podcasts. I listen to, I'm an avid watcher of your streams and such, and as you
Oh
know,
shit,
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, brother. You know, I, I try to. I tried to deliver some scary moments.
They were
Playing
indeed.
a guy that is absolutely insane to say the least. This season or this session of Against All Odds. Um, I, you know, how I'm gonna ask you how does it been like as me being Phoenix and like the interaction with Phoenix and that, like, for example, like the last time you were streaming in a little shed stuck in there, you and Julie stuck in a shed, nowhere to go.
Yeah. It's I don't look at it as an NPC character
Hmm.
like I
Hmm.
usually would. It
Yep.
feels like even though I know there is NPC elements there, I
Hmm.
thought I was gonna die. Like my character, I thought I was dead. There was a legit feeling of like, well, this is just another player, and I'm
Hmm.
fucked, and there's no way out of this. I get that feeling. It wasn't like I had this conversation with somebody. Maybe it was Skins not too long ago,
Hmm.
because there's servers that do scheduled events, and you'll see like
Hmm.
this bad guy show up and like
Hmm.
kind of we kind of had that in SOS a little bit before this.
Hmm.
But you had that feel like this bad guy's gonna show up and do some shit, and
Hmm.
there's nothing I mean, but with this, it kind of feels like you never know. He's like a great
Hmm.
white shark, and you're out there in the ocean. Maybe he's
That
there. Like maybe he comes up and nibbles on your ass a little bit.
that's right, Cal. I would not kill Boom. Um,
Oh, okay. So
I would
I could have
torture
been a
him
bit. I
first.
could
You
have
know,
been.
I would
Okay.
torture him to a bit of his life. That's pretty much part of it.
So I could have been a total badass back then.
Don't make Phoenix angry. No, um, yeah, to kind of shed a little light to like what you're talking about though with the event type thing. Like my whole thing that I had, conversation that I had with Wila and Skins and Lee and everyone was when I tried to take over on lore. Um, it was like I didn't want it to be like your stereotypical place that you would go to, server that you would go to that you'd have these, like you said, scheduled events, right? Where you knew when it was going to happen. Everybody knew. Oh, hey, there's going to be such and such happening. Make sure you have this turned on. Make sure you're at this location at this time. Because obviously you're in the game. Like you know what's going to happen out of character, and as much as you can try to hide that and keep it away when you're in character, it's in the back of your mind, right? You're like, okay, well, I'm going to turn my radio on. I'm going to be here waiting, all right? And 11 o'clock comes down, and I'm going to haul ass to this location, right? And it just seems kind of um, just stale, and it seems not as like natural, you know. So I wanted to make sure that any events that we have were a um, just kind of organic and felt like they were just kind of out of the blue anytime it could happen, whether little, big, whatever, right? And
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that it's something that does kind of incite that fear or that question to it. Um, Big thing, and you were there. I think were you there for the whole like the first big thing with the crazy dude jumping off the bridge?
No, no, no. But it was
Uh,
like the first huge thing
hmm
for our people, so it was heavily
hmm
talked about.
hmm
I was
Um,
basically there.
that yeah, that was one of my wants too. Right, was to any NPC character that I have. Right, any character. I hate calling them NPC characters. Like any story character, I guess is the best way to for me to describe it as. Right, I
Mm.
wanted them to make sure that like you have choices. Right, because you get in other places where you know what's going to happen. You get that person that goes there, and this is what they're going to go from point A to point B. Whoever's playing that person is going to get from point A to point B, no matter what happens. It's always going to be the same result. What I wanted to do with, for example, that character, the Nathan Reed character, was to say, listen, this guy is like he has a couple of different ways you can go, right? He's on his last edge. He's lost, so much. He's like absolutely insane. He's already got the virus. He's all over the place. Now, he's got information, right? And if one person talks to him and nobody else is around, he gives some information to that person, right? Next person's around, he gives information, little bits of information, right? So it kind of makes it so that person A has to talk to person B to pick up information, to get the whole story, right? They have to interact with each other to get that result. And at the same time, he has information to give, but, are you going to ask him for the correct info? Are you going to, you know, um, treat him a certain way? Like this guy was crazy. He was already saying that, he
Oh,
wanted to
Nathan
take his own
Reed.
life.
Reed.
Everything was happening. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was crazy, wanted to take his own life at the beginning. And you get him to a bridge where what's your first interaction going to be with him? Are you going to console him and try to like reason with him? And then maybe he gives you that information you need? Or
What
like what
was
happened?
it? Was was it
Go
like
ahead.
guns out, right?
So yeah, he walks up to the bridge, and everybody's there. They're kind of around him in circles, and he's calmed down from what he was on his way to there, right? And you have a few people that were, I believe, a couple people that were pointing and aiming towards him. And he starts to freak out a little bit, right? And he calms down. It gets calmed down a little bit. This conversation, it's easing it down, and someone went to go tie him up or handcuff him or something, right?
Oh.
So Now you got this guy who's like really on
You're
edge and
poking,
jittery. Yep.
yeah. You're fucking with this. You're over there throwing apples at the psychopath.
Exactly. So this information that he has that could have changed the whole course, of the story. Complete. You're at that fork in the road, right? At the beginning of the story, is it going to go here or there, right? And
It's still hidden today. Like Julie found rosebuds
yeah.
in game today, and we're like,
um, so yeah, that information he has, he jumps and he takes that with him to his grave, and now you're instead of that like easy way to get somewhere, now like shit, these people have options and they have feelings, and if you don't treat it right, you may have to go the long
you're
route to get
gonna,
somewhere,
you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose
hmm
out on some vital,
hmm
vital
Exactly.
evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I feel is different, and I want it to be different with a lot of the story characters.
yeah. No,
But
Phoenix has been a completely different animal. I like. I don't even look at. I know. You're playing Nathan. You played Nathan Reed as well as Phoenix, but
hmm
I look more at Nathan Reed as an information lore character. That
hmm
feels more NPC to me.
hmm
But when you see Phoenix, it's more of like a, like I said, like that great white. It's just kind of out there in the ocean. Maybe he gets you. Maybe he don't. He doesn't really feel like the big. He can be the big bad guy,
It
but
can be a pretty big bad guy, but why would he do that? And trying to be your friend at the same time. There's people
right,
talking bad crap about you, crackhead.
exactly. But I think he's necessary too at the same point because I feel like
hmm
if you didn't have Phoenix, then people would have killed each other by now.
hmm hmm
That's my theory. I could be wrong, like, but that's
hmm
where I'm at. If people don't have a threat to rally together against,
Yep.
like, so he is necessary, but at the same time, he doesn't feel like an NPC. He's just kind of like lurking out there.
hmm Like I like that feeling of having
And I
that
thought he
threat.
could kill you too. Like,
Yeah, hey, it's been going the way that I wanted it to be. Wait, am I still here? My controller disconnected. Am
yeah,
I still here? Yeah.
you
All
there?
right. Cool. Um, so I wanted it to be that way, where you get that feeling of there's a threat, and shit, I better watch out because I'm playing the same rules, in general,
And he's
with him as a
Batman
story
too, baby.
character.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the cavemen, he is Batman.
I wanted it to be in that situation where like, hey, I'm playing the story character, but you know, you're dealing with it the same as you would any other character, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, if you start to shoot towards me, I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to do
Right.
that situation. I'm not going to go out. I don't want it to be like sometimes in places
Cannon
you'll get,
fodder.
yes. Well, sometimes you'll get in these places, and I mean, you were part of service that were like this, and as was I. It was like you would get into places where you'd have that big bad wolf, the server, or the two big bad wolves that would play who's got the bigger dick the entire season, right?
Mm.
And it would battle. It'd be a battle, back and forth, and the threat of shit, am I gonna die if I run into this person is there, but it's not like that fear of like this is scary. It's more of like, oh crap, this guy's gonna fucking kill me because it's all about PvP with this person, right? I wanted it to be that way where it's the fear of threat, but it's not like, oh shit, it's that's all he wants is war, you know.
Right. Like
Um,
he can talk
that
to you too.
yeah, exactly.
Like to Jerry,
And
he's
oh,
like
thank you, Kelly.
like good guy. Yeah, I was gonna say, I get Kelly RP man. I want to catch up with you guys. Thank you so much for dropping some, taking the interest to comment is huge. Yeah, I was gonna catch up with you guys. No, but I feel like, yeah, he could be a good guy to somebody else and like a terrible
hmm
person to another guy.
hmm Um, I I
Let's
I
play a game.
did.
So he was probably
Yep.
terrible to. somebody else.
I was sad that when I did the torture um, to Kelly's character um, as Phoenix, I didn't really record the stuff. I was about to go save it at the end. It was super fucking late. I go to save it, and when I hit saved after I checked afterwards, I PS5, I hit, saved to 15 seconds or whatever, so it was pointless.
Mm.
But it was some interesting shit, right? Like I jump in and you and yeah, or well, Jerry and Julie had interacted in that last time that we ran into each other, where it's, hey, I'm this fucking crazy psychopath, but I'm gonna be your friend, and maybe convince you guys that I'm the correct way to view things, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. It.
those guys at the castle, they're being mean to you guys. Why is that?
Oh, he said
Jack
all the
deserves
right.
better, right?
Yeah, he was buttering me up, bro. I was ready to lay down and spread him. I was like,
It was so much fun, Kelly. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was
I gotta ask
oh
you, like,
my,
why don't you stream it, bro?
drives me
Like,
nuts.
that would be so.
So that's the thing. When I'm doing it's tough with the alts, right? So I would have to have it linked to, because I don't think I can do it to the same YouTube account from multiple accounts. Can I? I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
Can
yeah, I
I?
can't, and yeah, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kelly Keene
Kelly,
says, "Pick me up again."
uh,
She's ready for another round.
I'm gonna start putting posters up as Phoenix. Who wants to get tortured?
Like,
Go to a torture dungeon. Yeah, my biggest thing about streaming, I would stream. I have this thing where I want to stream my main character, right, and from this account, from my actual Gnome account. Um, but lately, last couple months, few months, whatever, I've gotten so attached to my like NPC characters and my story characters or whatever, and I don't think I can link the same YouTube account to two different PSNs. I think that's really what my issue would be.
right,
I
right.
I may be able to, like, I probably could do it the long way, where I record this session or whatever, and then chop it up, throw it on YouTube, and
Yeah,
upload it
it's so
there.
hard to
But
remember. Yeah,
such a pain in the ass.
it is.
I
Yeah.
so many times I've wanted to do that with characters in the past, in other places and such, and yep, I'm gonna commit to it, right? Make a
Yeah.
crazy awesome intro to the thing. It's gonna be a great episodic thing, and then I'm just like, well, forgot to record that time, and all this shit happened
Yeah.
in the meanwhile. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck happened, because I went from point A to point fucking Z,
Uh-huh.
streaming. Uh,
So much can happen too in DayZ, and then within
I
an
should.
hour.
I should. That's the thing. So
Um,
what do you got? What do you got for me? I want questions. I hate stealing the show and
no,
talking too
dude.
much.
I,
I
I,
talk a
I,
lot. I'm
I
sorry.
love this. I'm glad. I'm glad. Nah, we can do this all night, baby. I am
Uh,
down. Like if you got the time. No, I'm just glad we got you. I say we, like I got a staff behind me, and I do. No, I'm glad we got you on here. I think a lot of people are interested, and because Phoenix has become a little bit of a myth, a little bit of a ghost
hmm
story. Some people have seen
hmm
him. We got somebody in the chat, which I would love to hear that experience. Like, at the same time, like I don't want to know, but I've read the journals, so I know.
uh,
So I've gotten it from Sin's point of view,
hmm
but
hmm
her point of
Uh,
view could be completely different. Like Nums could have picked her up, took her out for a swim,
mhm.
lovely swim. They stop at an Italian restaurant, get some spaghetti, and then she's just like, you know what? I'm not ready to have this baby. Drop me off here, and and then she comes back. That's what you get.
uh, man, hey, it was it was good though. I'll tell you, without going into too much detail, with it to spoil too much, right? Um, they, they, you think of all the interactions that you've had with Phoenix, and just like I said, like our last time where
He's been a ghost.
he had, yeah, well, he's got the, hey, I'm going to try to be a friend. Everybody he talks to, right? Oh, I'm just a misunderstood guy. I just want to kill. So he has that, you know, feeling of like, hey, he's a normal guy. He just wants to be this joking around fucking
Yeah.
psychopath. And then he snaps,
No more sewage
and
water.
you see a completely different side
Fuck.
of him, right? What is that?
No more. Sorry.
Oh.
No more sewage water.
Yes,
Says
no more
Kelly
sewage
King.
water. Yep. Uh,
Dude.
so,
Where are you
so
going?
yep. All right. So that's actually, see, Kelly. I wasn't sure if I was going to tell him about that or tell him about the story with the stick. You know.
Oh my God.
Um,
This-
I said afterwards, well, good thing I wasn't streaming, or good thing I didn't upload it or anything on there. I'd get some pull downs. This is extremely explicit content or something, right? Um, so the sewage water. The sewage water. I have the location that I have. It's a custom location that I built, and on the inside is a bunch of little, rooms and things like that. And I made a particular room that looks like a wastewater kind of room, and it has a
Ah,
water
dude.
table on it or whatnot. Yeah. And so she's in the cage, and he wakes up. So every start, he wakes up, from his nice bedroom that is lavished out or whatever. He comes over and he says, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna unlock this gate, and we're gonna, take a walk over here, and stretch your legs, blah blah. Blah. Oh, yep, walk over here. Yep, it's dark. You open up that door. Yeah, okay. And we're having a nice conversation, right? And we're going. It's a two-door system to go into the room, right? Open the first door. She walks over. She starts to open the second door, and I remember just being like, um, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" And she's like, I was like, "Did I tell you to open that door?
Oh
You
shit.
don't follow instructions, right, dude?" And it switched from being that, nice guy to, oh shit, right?
Here comes
We
the
go into the room.
whites. Have the great
Yep.
white eyes, baby.
Go into the room. It's like, oh, see, I want you to step into that water. Oh, yeah, it's going to get your feet wet. Now lay down over there. Okay, yep, we're going to get your face really close like that, and we're going to baptize you,
Oh
basically.
shit.
This is sewage water. I don't know how long it's been since this thing's been cleaned, but oh man, and it's good to have somebody like Kelly who is phenomenal when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
because you need a good dance partner to do that too.
yep, exactly. Like get some people that kind of get out of place, and they'll just be like, oh, I don't get it. The animations don't let me do this, or they get really out of place or whatever. And she runs with it. Um, we had an RP situation in previous. I don't know if it was an SOS. Yeah, before we did the Against All Odds, where we were chopping bodies down next to a church in like
Oh yeah, I
Trumbull or
reference that
Electra
all
or
the time.
whatever. Yep. And obviously can't chop the bodies down, can't carry them over, but yeah, we're RPing that thing like, and it's the bodies are starting to fall off. All right, well, it's starting to smell. It's like you really, she gets into it. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's good to have like that dance partner, like you said, that can actually, roll with the punches, and makes you feel like all this stuff is legit happening, with the limitations that you have with certain animations and things like that.
Oh no, it's glorious. I was so excited by that clip that I was in a party chat with Wyla, and I gave her I
I
gave her
can get
zero
to.
context. I gave her zero
Mhm.
context. I just played it, and when you just play the audio, it sounds so fucked up.
when when you guys confronted us in there, dude, I found that video. It just popped up, right? And I found that video of like you guys, going into the, I think it was raining or whatever out, and we just like kind of drying our clothes, and you scared the fuck out of me, right? You guys
Oh,
just open up from one side to the other, and like I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? And I'm over there just like in my, we're just talking, we're having a good conversation or whatever, and I'm bringing out my clothes or whatever, and it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, holy shit, this scared me, right? Like, and just juggle.
yeah, that was
The
just
situation with those two,
pure
you had some
autism.
crazy people there, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Hey.
was straight autism. My mic was way too loud, and then yeah, like looking back at, because here's the thing, dude. Like before um uh A AAO.
AAO, yeah.
Before this, like I thought I was like I looked at myself like I'm a good role player. I know what I'm doing. You
Mm,
know what I mean? But then
yeah.
when I got into this and like got that real, because I thought it was gonna suck at first, to be honest.
Synchrony.
Sing, yeah, that was cool. That was she did too. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when I got into this, I was like, okay, this is way different. Like this feels like you're role playing for like not the first time, but it feels like okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like just taking that
It's different.
realistic, yeah, it's like you're actually forced to finally take the realistic approach that you thought you were taking before, but you weren't really taking
Hmm.
before. So now you're like, before I felt like I was pretending to like scout out of town or something. Like it never happened. But now
Yeah.
it's like you're actually valuing your like before I would have been like
Hmm.
fuck you Phoenix and shot back and
Right.
probably got killed. But now it's like yo, this is real. Like breaking down like a little. I mean, I probably would. I would probably break down like a little bitch because realistically, you got Batman out there, and you're in the pitch
Hmm.
black. You have no idea. You've
Yep.
heard this guy's been a ghost, but you know of him. You've been in kind of gunfights with him before. I mean,
Hmm.
you know he's out there, but it's like this
Yeah.
time he's got your ass. The Great White, he's right on you. He's bumping you
Hmm.
with that nose, baby. He's about to take a bite, and it's like you get a little bit of fear, dude. You like actually feel the fear.
Hmm.
Like, okay, I like yeah. I need to like react like I'm actually gonna die here because that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was a perfect
Um,
setup too, dude. And got us right in the
yeah.
dark.
Oh, that was good. That was because the perfect timing because I saw you guys on the tracks at first, right? And I guess I had the VGs or whatever. I saw you on the tracks, and I was like, fuck, like where the hell did they go? And I'm trying to do the like just like the zombies can do by watching some of the streams or whatever. I'm like
Right.
where the hell, like I got it on the side. I'm like, oh, I know they're there. I literally was just watching you. Where the fuck did you go? And there's a little bit of a delay. And what's hilarious is hearing hearing Lee with the UK from across the pond type stuff with the I'm gonna go take a wee,
Yeah.
and I'll be back. And of course, she ends up in a bush because every time Phoenix shows up, she's hanging out in a bush. That's our running joke with that. She's in a bush, and you played that really well. Where I'm driving by, I lost you guys, right? And I knew you were there. I'm like, where the fuck did they go? And I'm driving over, and I see, I hear you pop up, and you're like, oh shit, what was that? I almost ran you over.
Yeah. That's like it was like seeing a great white, dude. Like
I
come
would
behind,
have felt
like
so
circle.
bad.
So I didn't see it. Like I don't know if my audio just sucks, but all of a sudden, like there's a fucking Humvee behind me, and I was like, it was a gasp.
You're like, where are you? Where are you? Julie, where are you?
Oh
We
yeah,
gotta get
yeah.
out of here. We
I
gotta
thought
get
you
out of here.
snatched her up. I was like, okay,
Uh,
she's gone.
I I have multiple times as Phoenix. I've accidentally um, shot or shot in the wrong spot or almost killed people accidentally multiple times. Um, I
Oh
eat one of
shit.
the times when I had Kelly, sin as the hostage, and she'll recall this really well. Um, we're having our little conversation. I've got a gun in hand, and I went to go point, aim and point towards a direction, and I go to do that, and I tap R2, I bumped R2, and I was aiming directly at her fucking
Oh
face.
dear.
And if she didn't react with a quick split of, the movement and the woggle back and forth, if she didn't do that,
Oh, she moved out of the
I would
way.
have yes, I would have, oh my God, I would have felt so bad. 'Cause
Oh shit.
and both of us just stopped. And we're like, fuck, did you mean to
That's
do that?
that's kind of what I was expecting. I mean, I don't expect you to just like pick somebody up and kill them because
Mhm.
um, but I'm kind of getting that vibe out of Phoenix. Like eventually he's gonna kill somebody. I'm
I
not saying he
accidentally
should,
almost
but
shot you or Julie in that shed when I
oh
was
yeah.
shooting because some of those objects, some of those sheds, some of the houses, like they're not bulletproof, right? You shoot and you will shoot through them. That's one of those sheds that you can shoot and you can shoot through it. Um, I wasn't really thinking it so much because as you know, like I was driving by, you guys are freaking out because you know that I'm right there, and I stop the Humvee, slow it down, right? And
I
you
didn't know
guys
what
are
to
you,
do.
you, you guys are stuck in there. You have nowhere to go, right? And you hear the Humvee slowly driving by, and then just come to a stop, and then the engine get turned off, and I, I was like, what would make these guys freak out,
Start
you know?
throwing shit. Don't
Yep. So I throw the grenade, smoke grenade on
you? Yeah,
it,
I
and
didn't
I
realize
just
that until.
blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
just start shooting like crazy to and after I shot, I didn't hear you or her talk, and I'm like, fuck, did I just kill both like I should have shot in the air.
The hit
Um,
squad, baby, coming in to wipe them out. I didn't know what to say. Like I was waiting on Julie to say. It was just such a tense moment. It's like I didn't even. There was nothing in my brain, in character or out of character, where I was like, what do you do? Like what do you do here? I'm sure Sid might have got the same feeling. I mean, I don't know, man. She's a pretty good role player. She reacts very good. She says, "Feels like professional improv." It is. I think it is because there's sometimes, dude, where I just have no idea like what to
Mhm.
say to something like
Yeah.
that was so bizarre. But something
Mhm.
comes out and you're like, yeah, I didn't think of that, but it came out like.
I've never played um, a villain, a bad character, anything like that. It's always been I've always had characters that I've wanted to play as a villain, but I always stir into the other direction. It was out of my comfort zone. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. You know,
Yeah,
and but I want him to be likable too. you know,
I think
I
you
want it. I
nailed.
want.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think you
thank you.
nailed that on the. Yeah, I think you nailed that on the head. I think he's. Yeah. If it's your first villain,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely wild to think. You really do a good job of playing of a. Like you said though, to me, he's a bad guy.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, you can be subjective, of course. Like when he admitted that because the whole time I thought through journals and through in game that the captain was in the box,
Hmm.
and then when he said, "Well, no, actually, I've been taking care of him in a cell," so it's hard to read him. He's really hard to read. So it's like you're not sure if he's just a psychopath saying shit to
Hmm.
say it, or he's like an
Right.
actual legit. Like, is there truth to what he's saying? It's somewhere in there. Like the captain's either in a box or in between.
It's that scale of things, right? Like I want there to be thinking involved, right? Like I want it to be, like you said with the captain thing. It's like, oh shit, we got a box and it has something personal from a captain, and we haven't seen that guy in forever, right? So like, is he dead? Is that really him? And I like the
Right.
way people played it. There was some people that were like, well, Alora's body's gone. Maybe that's hers. That I made sure to put hands were missing
There was a
and there's no
mystery to
head or
it.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so people could be like, well, this is female hand, or this is, somebody else's head or whatever. It's like, well, he's
Mm.
missing parts that would identify him, to to people that may know him for a brief time, right?
All right.
Um, so then you got that like, did that happen? And then when he talks to Jerry and Julie and he says, well, that's not really him. He's locked up somewhere. Then you're like, oh, okay. But wait a minute. Is he telling the truth now, or was he, is he fucking with me this time?
Yeah, you
It's
don't know. You don't know. It's kind of like,
what's truth?
yeah, it kind of reminds me of the kind of like the Joker in the Dark Knight, like that
Mm,
multiple backstory bullshit he gives people. Like the
yep.
second time you hear it, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what is this guy? You can't trust like anything. Maybe it's true, or maybe this guy's just full of shit. But either way, it's just like it's such a it's like a refreshing like surprise of like who knows. But it's like it makes you think, well, what do maybe your character wants to believe the captain's locked up. He wants to believe
Mhm,
Phoenix is this actually a good guy. But he
mhm.
could have just straight up butchered him. He could be in a box. But that's your first time, yeah? Like actually just going
Yeah,
full
first
out.
time actually
I'm
going
gonna just
down.
like put a bitch in a sewage. I'm just gonna be demented as possible.
Yep. And I'm making that, I'm making the little, bunker type thing, and trying to make it so I'm like, all right, when I'm making this file, I'm making this map edit or whatever, like I'm inside, I'm like, all right, well, let's see, it's going to be this small little place, but it's going to have room for, he wants to have a room, or he's going to have a room that like is catered to him. It's not going to be like this dreary place for him. Like he's going to be, lavish. It's nice. He's got,
Right.
the bed. He's got this, and then as soon as you walk out, it's like, fuck, this is like being in a sewer somewhere.
All
Like,
right.
it's not that great of a situation to be in.
I love you,
Um,
Kelly King. By the way, when I said bitch, I was thinking of sin. I was not thinking of. I just no, I wasn't thinking of that.
you
No.
know, that actually, you saying that and splitting like the person from the character kind of brought up in my head too when um, it, what's great about this in general and as a whole, and I know you've probably experienced this yourself, and previous times, this time, what have you, right? Like you get so in depth with whether it's your character or another character that you're really close with, even if you know that person, you know, who's playing that character, you
True.
know, IRL, it's like that this is a character, this is the person, but you're feeling with with that character itself. You're like, this is a like breathing person itself in its own, in its own aspect. And it's like when it's tough to separate, you know, but you're like, oh shit, this is a
Yeah.
completely different person. This is a completely different person, right? So, for example, when I was, Phoenix, and unfortunately, Skin's character as Jack died that night, I was stalking you guys like mad, right, for the whole lead up to that when you guys ran up towards that place. And um, of course, I'm in the
And
Humvee, and it's dark. You were obviously there. It was dark. I'm in the Humvee, and the game kind of bugged out, and I bumped into a thing. I bumped into something, and with a tree or pole or whatever the fuck it was, and my headlights went out. And I'm like, shit, I have no way to see in the dark. I didn't have any NVGs. I didn't have anything like that. So I was, waiting. Like, it's a little bit of light. I'm gonna drive through, try to see if I can get even closer, right? But I don't want to die myself, you know. There goes my big story character, right?
Right.
So I'm playing it, you know, and I'm like, fuck, all right. So I'm trying to play it close and play easy. Next thing I know, my Humvee is now turning a little bit to the right, and I'm like, shit, what happened? I get out, my tire's blown. Oh, you fucker.
Oh, dude.
So,
You're
so I'm sitting there.
struggling.
Yep. Right. I'm like, I'm gonna sit on the hood of my Humvee and just wait for daytime to show. I'm sitting there. I was like, you know, fuck it. I pull up the stream. You know, listening to it because it's dark and I can't see shit anyway. But I got, you know, the audio going, and I have my radio on in game, and I hear um, right after Skin's character dies, and you're by yourself, and you know Julie's wherever, you know, she was, and you're like, oh
Assume.
fuck, like is
Yeah.
she? Yeah, is she dead
Yeah.
too? Is he dead? You know, who's dead? Is anybody like okay? Are they okay? Right? Like, um, but I'm in game with the radio on, and I hear you explain. I'm so close. I'm just saying, oh, it's a wonderful day out there. Oh, this is great. The same stuff that I told you afterwards, right? The kind of really twisted stuff that Phoenix was talking to you about after, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, I was gonna say while you know, Julie was still around. Like after you told her, "Hey, Jack is dead. He didn't make it," and but her playing of that and how the emotions change. I was like, out of character. I was like, "Fuck, I can't say this. I can't, you know, be mean to her right now. She's in a bad place right now. You know, I can't play this much evil. You know, like what am I gonna? Oh yeah, oh sorry, great day, right? Oh, your person
Oh
just died. Like
God.
I was like, oh man, this is tough. I'd rather listen to this right now. Like I'm literally just listening to audio in game with
That might have been
the
an
microphone.
emotional overload if Phoenix showed up.
Yeah. Like I'm listening to it on the radio in game as if it's like an old timey like a radio soap opera or something, right? Like I'm like I can't. Oh.
So
Yes,
you kind of had
exactly, Kelly.
reservations about like,
Yeah. I'm like I got I don't want to make her feel too bad, and she's so nice, right? Out of character, in character. Like she's such a nice, cool person. So it's
oh
like
yeah, she's a
I
sweetheart.
feel bad. I'm like I can't be mean. I can't be mean to her. She's been so nice, right? And of course I waited and I look. I'm like, okay, she logged off. All right, it's boom. I'm gonna be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, right. That was perfect too. Yeah, because
Yes,
yeah,
a telenovela.
that was
Ugh.
yeah, because I was kind of like in shock too. So I didn't really know what
Mm.
to. That's the first time, dude. I've been in role play. That's the difference with this server. Um,
Mhm.
Telenovel. Yeah. Julie's so wonderful. I love her. Yeah. So Skelly King. I agree. That's the first time I've been in role play where like where something happens and you're just like not you know the way you should react, but you're just like in
Mhm.
actual shock where you're just like I
Oh yeah.
what? We're just
You're
here
like,
getting a
what did he
radio. We
say?
weren't supposed to die.
Exactly. And it changes the whole dynamic of everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, now, like I said, something as simple, like you were saying to Dave, I was listening towards the end, um, you know, sitting in the green room trying to get these fucking Cool Ranch Doritos that you promised, and there
Digging
was
on
none
them,
there.
yeah,
So,
baby. Yeah, yeah.
yep, yep.
That's how
Well,
we get you. That's how we
uh,
get you on here.
so you know, when you're saying like anything could happen, literally, you do one little thing and it could change the whole dynamic to everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, Same thing with that, like you just said, you guys were just going to get a radio, you know, like every other day, you know,
Yeah.
you're not going to do anything, you're not going to raid a place, you're not going to go, you know, cause some chaos and, you know, break shit. You're going over to get a radio, as simple as get a radio, and you're like, well, the threats are real. The threats came over. How exactly did all that stuff happen? Was it all zombies? Was it wolves? Like I didn't really catch all
I
of
don't
it.
even know.
It happened so
I
fast, man.
yeah, I can't even believe I caught the end of it because if you watch the stream back, I catch
Mhm.
him 5 seconds before he dies. Like he just falls right in my
Mhm.
arms and dies. And me and Skins were like, we talked about it like a few weeks later. Like
Mhm.
if anybody else saw that, they would think it was scripted. It's just and we were like back when I used to watch Frankie on PC and shit. Um,
Oh yeah.
I would always think like this is way too good to be true. But he's probably got like 1,000 hours of gameplay and he's nitpicking.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Oh yeah.
but stuff like that happens. And when you
Oh
have
yeah.
this rule set that we have, it's because any
Mhm.
any other roleplay server would have been like, well, maybe he gets a ticket. Maybe we just like, pretend this didn't happen. Maybe he's just fucked up and he lays in a house for a few days. No, he's dead. He's dead.
Nope, yeah, he's Gonzo, man.
How do you what did you feel about that going from because your role in SOS originally was kind of like just a coder.
Hmm. So originally, I wasn't even necessarily a coder originally. When we first started with SOS, I was more of um, like the creative kind of direction, right? Where it was like, I'll handle making the Discord look pretty. I'll make sure that things are organized, and I'll do like the brunt of the whitelist form designing, the advertisement stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and we had Dougie, and we had Crypto, and both great guys, but obviously just had like some stuff going on in their lives outside of game um, that came first, and I don't blame them with that. Like any of that stuff, I would like, just like I tell Wila, or Skins, or leads, like if something comes up that's personal, you take as much time as you need. Like this is a game, this is a server. People, as much as people rely on stuff like that to get out of their funk, I'll do extra work if
Right.
need be, right? um, but originally it was just that, and after those guys had to take their leaves, I jumped in and like, what? I'm going to learn as much shit as I can. Like I have some history with coding games similar to this. Back in the day, um, let's say between like '05 and like '09, I ran a pretty successful Grand Theft Auto San Andreas multiplayer RP community that had like ridiculous amount of people, and
Oh,
we
on
were,
PC, right?
yeah, on PC. And we did some nuts like stories, and I did the coding. Surprisingly, the coding on that game was it was super similar to the coding on like the Daisy editor,
Hmm.
with the map editing and things like that. Almost identical to what I used to use. So I was able to jump in pretty quickly. Um, Watch a lot of videos, get the rundown of how things function. Pretty good to jump into.
Is that
Um,
like because the most technical thing I did was like way back in the day. I used to do websites like with
mhm.
HTML.
Yep.
Is that anything like that, or is it more like sophisticated and like, or is it simpler?
So, yes and no.
Okay.
So I have been, if you know me much outside of the Daisy world, the community, and Discord stuff, a little bit about myself, quick to kind of establish stuff on there, is I have been doing professional great graphic design work for about 24, 25 years.
Oh
All
shit.
right.
Okay.
And I did back in the day, early to mid 2000s, did a bunch of HTML and XML and CSS coding and all that stuff. And um, the similarities are there, right? A lot of the stuff that they use in like the Nitrado servers are XML based, and you're basically doing call outs, right? So you say, for example, like the zombies, right? You So that's the first thing when I open up my phone and I see that's the last tab that I had in Nitrado. Um, it's a
So
line of code. God.
you got to type like a do you got to type like a paragraph of code to get like a tree in the middle of a road or
Well, so the objects spawning in, like trees and like the ship and all that stuff, that's all done sidebar like through the editor itself, right? And you would basically export your file like you would any other file from any other program, right? Like you think of it like whatever Microsoft Word, right? You save a file, boom, you have this file. Now all your data that you've collected for that file, that map edit, is on that one file, right?
hmm.
And you upload that to Nitrado, and within this one config file that you have in Nitrado, it calls out to those specific files. So it says, hey, this is a list of all the JSON files, to use these different map pieces. Use, A through Z, whatever, and you just put the file name, to search in this folder for this file name, and as long as that file's there, it'll load it on the next restart. Um, as far as things like events spawning, weather, zombies, bears, whatever, animals, um, objects, as far as like loot type objects, right? Those things are more like um, they're like, let's say, I was saying with the zombies, for example, right?
Because you have moved them around like accordingly to
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah. hmm like on the zombies though, like I did where George in game would play at the very beginning. The very little amount of zombies, and more people started to go towards that pub, and then he starts playing the piano very loudly, and you have these little parties and stuff going, and everybody knows, zombies get attracted to noise, so I spawn more zombies in that area.
Yeah. It's little
And
things like that. They just fucking.
yeah, I try to keep things updated, updated with it. And for something like that, it's really simple. Like it's a single line of code where you have a static and a dynamic number, right? Static being every time you spawn in that location, you'll always excuse me, always find X amount of zombies, whatever number you put there, right? So I could say 10 at the castle. Every single time you spawn, you will see 10 zombies, right? Dynamic number, more of like you can see up to 10 zombies, right? Maybe it'll be there, maybe it'll trigger, maybe it's, you
Oh,
have to have
okay.
somebody there. The static number would basically be there. Even if you're at the ship, there's always going to be 10 zombies if it's static at the castle, right? And that'll always be there. Even if there's nobody there, they won't get
So
triggered.
the dynamic is it could be up
It
to 10.
triggers exactly. So like you would for like a train event or a car event, a helicopter event or anything. Those only happen if people are in a certain area, right? Like I'm sure you've seen like zombies. Um, if you go into a town and you kind of look over and you like, oh, I see a zombie kind of spawning in a little bit. Like you kind of see him flicker in, right?
Yeah.
That's an event that'll happen. Like those don't always stay in that spot wherever you are in the game. You have to be within a certain radius for those to spawn up. Um, that's the dynamic ones, and it's simple enough where you just put in those numbers, those keys, if you want dynamic, static, however many you want, and a base range of where on the map you want it to spawn and how far you want them to spawn out.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so it's not like a lot of super difficult work. I mean, some things can get a little tedious and feel like a pain in the ass, but
I,
as far as like coding stuff in, um, I I wanted to make sure that people, and I've said this to people before, I didn't want it to be where you had to get particular objects to get, a whatever a chair spawned into your location. You didn't have to get like, I'm going to get all these materials, I'm going to gather them
oh,
together, I'm
right,
going to show
right.
you. I didn't want
I
that,
thought that's
right?
what you were
Because
going
that,
to hit me with when I asked for the stage.
like, I tell everybody, if you have something, if you have an idea that you want there, RP it in game. right?
Mm.
RP that, hey, I'm building this up, and I know a lot, not really many people for like the stage knew like so much. Hey, I'm gonna RP this, or like they're just saying, hey, I want this build, right? So as Peter, I'm like, oh, I did this as a favor for guys letting me in. I used a bunch of spare boards and I built this together, right? So
Mm.
if it fits and it's gonna help add more RP or expand the RP, or as long as it fits, right? Um, yeah, I'm all for it. I'll code that in as soon as I can, right? As long as it's semi makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
uh, you know, um, I I had a request. The person's not with us there anymore, but I had a request
Oh, shit, they
a couple
died.
months back. I don't know. They might still be alive. They're not in the server anymore. Uh,
It's my
uh,
first thought. They did. They're dead.
they're no longer with us. Um, so I had a request where they asked for a certain place to be furnished, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, furnished in a way where I'm going to make it so if you have a table and a couch, you're going to get that couch that's ripped up and looks like shit, and you're going to get an old wooden table, and it's just stuff that you would normally just. I gathered and found this in a town, right? It's not going to
Right.
be brand new stuff you just get out of a department store, right? And that stuff is fine. But if you start saying like, oh, I'm in a barn and I want to add a whole kitchen, working kitchen, and I want, this like, I want a TV thing over here, and I want like, well, dude, you're in a barn, like you're in a four-wall wooden little
Yeah,
fucking
you got
cow
rain
shed,
coming
like,
in.
you know,
Yeah.
unless your character has some form of like, contractor knowledge here, you're not converting that into a micro house or
Get a
something. Like,
mildew couch.
yeah, yeah, like you're getting some beat up old shit. Like,
Yeah.
um, so long as it makes sense, I'm all for, expanding RP.
No, that's cool. Because I was pleasantly surprised because I was thinking, well, I'm going to try to figure out a way to role play this out. And then Peter, I was like, oh, there you go. That works.
Um, and yeah, I like the way it came out. It was quick. That I did. That done in fuck, like not even 5 minutes, and it's super simple and easy. All it is just a box, a crate that's enlarged to like 10 times its size. That's the
Yeah.
base, and a bunch of little wooden fence around it, and boom, and it looks the part.
Yeah, I got a
Um,
piano. Yeah, no, that came out nice. That came out nice.
I have so many custom spots
I was going to say,
throughout the
yeah,
map.
the more you explore, like, the more you, like,
Mhm.
what town am I in? Like, what
And
is
that makes it
this?
difficult in the Humvee too, right? Driving around, and you got your car now, like you driving that around in a spot where you used to be like, oh, I know this is a clear path, I'm gonna drive over here, not realizing, oh shit, there's like cars all over the place. I gotta, bob and weave through
Oh,
all
yeah.
of this, like, oh man, in the Humvee. My biggest thing going through Severograd towards the gas station where you have this pile up of cars, trying to squeeze myself. And even gonna ask Killia, trying to squeeze my Humvee between these two broken down cars and hoping that it doesn't glitch or get stuck in between. Is the most
Yeah.
terrifying thing. um, there's so many locations that I have that are custom that people, and I'm still.
Are they opening, like, lore tickets? Like, what the fuck is
Oh
going
yeah,
on here?
oh yeah. Oh, I get so many, and I give a lot of guys credit, because like I'll get lore tickets all the time, and like I feel bad for all you guys that open up those lore tickets, and I'm at work and I'm like, shit, like I know these guys are there right now and they found a book and I want to answer it, but I can't because I'm at work,
Gotta wait,
yeah,
bitch.
like I feel bad because shit, like I'm thinking they're in game right now and they're like, look what I found. I don't know. I gotta wait. Um, I want to try to fix that. I've tried to originally put all my lore in a little folder so that all the other guys had access to it, but then I was like, it's there's just so much shit to try to organize, and I'm terrible at organizing things. Um,
Well, I mean, everybody's
as
got
is,
lives,
yeah,
and stuff, so
yeah.
it's understandable. Like, Kelly King has a standing lord ticket. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
some
yeah.
of
She has
it's
the ongoing lore ticket, and you know what? I'm gonna put her on blast in a positive way, right? Um, there's people who I feel like are almost scared to ask on some of these things, or they and I any of you guys that maybe listening or watching whatnot, like open up a lore ticket and ask me all the questions. If you see something that's out of place or looks completely different or whatnot, make a lore ticket. I don't care if it's a book, if it's
oh,
a
okay.
a,
I thought it
a
was
few
just
a few things.
books and audio
Yeah,
tapes.
well, there's books and audio tapes, yes, but if you see something else that's out of place and you're like, hey, like, do I see anything? Maybe you did. Maybe you hear something. You don't know.
Okay,
Um,
I would. Yeah, I would
and
probably would have opened up a few then.
like Kelly
Hmm.
has an ongoing, and like today, for example, she's in a location and finds a book, and it's not just the book itself. It's like, I'm looking over here, did I find anything? Did I look over here, did I find anything? What's the composition of this guy's deteriorating body? Is like all these, and I'm like, man, I joke around all the time with her in the tickets. I'm like, this is a lot of fucking questions, okay? Like, I didn't expect all these questions, but I welcome it so much, because I like that whole, like, I'm gonna fucking find
Yeah,
the answer to this thing, we're gonna do this.
makes
Um,
it interactive too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
kind of.
Um,
You're like
there,
feeding her imagination as well.
yep,
I think. Yeah.
exactly. And there's so many spots though in the game that I've added in um, that still have not even remotely been touched or explored, right? And I love that because
Oh yeah.
uh, like you obviously get the group in the castle, a lot of people in the castle, and I want I want people to expand beyond that. I want people to check out other places. I want there to be a lot of exploration and don't fear to check other places, right?
Oh, they're out there.
Um,
Yeah. Because I've
oh
mentioned
yeah.
stuff in game and people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
there's there's a lot of cool stuff, and I take credit for a decent amount of it that I've done myself, made myself. I've used a lot of uh, different pieces that are from various like other editors that have them out. Like, oh hey, this is a cool map edit, and if it works for our situation, then oh by all means, and I'll work off of that. So a lot of those things I've had credit doing, and there's a few things that I've edited, it worked on beyond. So if it seems like it's out of place, or if it seems like it's different, by all means, let me know.
Oh no,
I'll see what I
dude.
can do to fix it.
There's I don't want to like. Kelly King says we had a town meeting about that today. Oh, like unusual places. People kind of sharing that.
Nice, nice.
Um, yeah, there's been a few places where I thought to myself, should I have? Because I thought it was just books and audio. This is one place. I can't remember the town, but it's like a plane had crashed into a bus, but it's really set up
Mm.
really good. It's where and there's like bodies and shit hanging off.
Mhm, mhm.
To where it's like, yeah, something went
Oh
down
yeah.
here. Like, and we had to stop and like speculate. It was like a whole
Yeah.
thing. It was like, Jesus Christ, look at these people, man.
Mhm. I try to keep it as fresh as possible too. So there's sometimes when you get certain lore type information, you find a lore doc that you've picked up and you walked away and you left and you found out what it was, right? Don't think that if you go back, that's the end of it, right? And that it's wiped. Something new might happen. A couple people know that that's what happened recently with something. There's a lore piece of lore that you might find that's wow, this is something that happened, and a month later in game you go back and you're like, oh shit, this whole landscape has changed. There's different stuff here. There's, something happened in the meanwhile. I don't want to, what was that say? Terminus. No, I'm needing to go out. That big bulldozer is driving me nuts. What big bulldozer? Big bulldozer she's talking about. What big bulldozer? Oh, am I alone? Uh, hmm. Nope, I'm still here. I think Boom might have stepped. Oh, there you are.
Oh no, no, no,
I'm
no.
like,
Sorry about that.
oh shit, am
I was
I
grabbing
here?
a drink. I was listening.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't
all
think it
good.
was
It's
gonna
all
take
good.
that long. No, so if
Um,
something major happens in game, you might code that in to like say the castle blows up or it gets
mhm,
hit by grenades. Like
mhm.
Jesus Christ, I'm
Um,
out of breath. I'm running back to
yeah,
the
that's what happens
podcast. I
when you
gotta
get
go. I
older.
gotta go.
That's what happens when you get older. I get up, I go get a drink in the fridge, and I'm like, oh my god, I walked 10 feet. Fuck, I'm so tired.
So I was running back to the microphone. Um, no, so say yeah, like Phoenix just showed up and said, you know what, guys, we're just gonna like have a Fourth of July party and just bomb the shit out of the castle. Like, could you physically do that? Just like make it look like ruins or take it
so I,
away?
so the only downside to something like that, that's one of the big um, sad parts to console versus PC, right? You can always add things to the map, but you can't remove vanilla items.
Oh, okay.
So I can't remove castle objects. I can't. God, if that was the case, I said before, to Skinzawella, it's like if that was the case, I would wipe so much of the shit and just start brand new, fresh, right? Like this is a completely
Oh
different
yeah,
world, right?
just from
But yeah,
scratch. Yeah.
you can't remove objects. Unfortunately, you have to work with the landscape that you're given it. But a lot of that castle that's there now, um, a lot of the gaps and the things that were covered up from, custom objects. So there are some spots that, if he was to, send some bombs over there, boom, I could break off a piece of, chunk of the wall that I've added in and have it look a little, more worn down or
Yeah, that'd
more,
be cool.
like it was broken down. But yeah, like if there's something that you may find out there, say you found a lore dock and it turns out it's a sign that says, hey, so and so, I'm a survivor looking for, whoever, right? Then you go back a month, real life time goes by a month. You go back and you see that it might be, updated. There might be a sign still there, and it might say, "Oh, hi, so and so. I was in this area. I'm looking for you. Whatever."
Right.
There can be updates to it. It's not just one and done. It's not like, "Oh, I found it. That's the end of that war. Move on to the next one." Um, did you get a chance to listen to the audio that I didn't see the stream. I've been working my ass off, but with that was in the car with you and Lee.
Oh yeah, yeah. Today.
Oh,
That's
you were listening to
another.
it today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing too. Like, took us 2 trips to get it working, which I thought was interesting. But no, that didn't even sound like you, dude. That was like somebody else.
That was AI of me.
Holy
That
shit.
was so. I was trying. I was telling her the same thing. Was using a I was using a voice modifier, an AI voice modifier, to make myself sound like I was like, I need to find a voice, that makes me sound like some punk ass little like college
Yeah,
douchebag.
that's what I was. That's what I
And
said in
believe it or
game.
not, that's Mr. Beast.
Oh shit.
that's Mr. Beast, and I used that voice on there, and and I'm like, oh my God, this sounds so fucking nasally. Bro, just fucking stupid shit, man. Fucking hikes, and it was like,
Yeah, have you heard like
and
the
and it
rain
sounded so
falling?
good. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I threw that together in, God, not even 10 minutes.
that's wild. AI.
I had something else to be a little side story, and I felt bad because the audio clip that I had um, originally when Lee had brought it up and said, "Hey, can I have that audio clip?" I was at work and I was like, "Fuck,
Ah,
no, I
okay.
can't get it for you." And I was like, "I'll give it to you when I get home." I get home and I forgot all about it. I'm at work the next day. She made a ticket. That audio clip. I'm like, shit.
She played that out perfectly because she played it like we don't have middle wire, so it's not really working well. So she just played like a bunch of static.
Nice, nice, nice,
Yeah, and then we came back the next day with middle wire and got your.
nice.
Cause I was, yeah, I was like, that isn't. I know she had to open the lure ticket. That isn't Nums. Who's he got working for him? Who is this?
that was that was a fun thing, right? Like I'm gonna just be this like snot nosed little college kid, right before all this stuff's happening. It's like he's got his little radio, he's this hipster kid, he's got his radio, and record this thing, and man, this sucks. The worst thing happens, man. I'm in Shinaris going to college, and these stupid fucking teachers and everything, and then it cuts out, and it's like, well, there's some virus that stopped me from going back home. Fucking airports are down, man, and cuts out. Next thing in the future, it's like, oh, people are fucking eating, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
so it's like it just kind of that juxtaposition of like going
goes
from,
from
you know,
normal to yeah
right. Worst thing in life is no, I'm in
AI.
another country and nobody understands me. To everybody's eating each other, and
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing, right? Um, yeah, it's. Oh,
that's wild.
let's just say here.
That really opens up your imagination, I guess. Knowing you can
Oh
just yeah,
yeah.
AI. I didn't know, dude. I just thought assumed you had somebody else working
Yep.
for doing voiceovers. I was like, that ain't
Um,
Nums unless he's like gotten really, really good at doing different accents. He's already good at doing different accents, but like,
oh, thank you, thank you.
it's like there's no way that's Nums.
I I wanted I wanted to be like, man, like there's so many different things that could come about, right? Like side stories where yes, you have Victor and Phoenix and shit, this is like the main big piece, but like like in your case there, you find this old tape of this guy, this like college kid that has nothing to do with Victor or Phoenix. It has
Right.
nothing to do with like, oh, we're gonna find a cure or whatever. Like it's just like this little side story. Now that you guys have that planted seed, right? Of like maybe in game you're like, or like out of character or whatever, maybe you're like, nah, this is just a fucking throwaway. This is nothing, right? This is just some little side story or whatever.
I did take
Maybe
it. I kind of took it that way.
there you go.
I shot up
It's
the
like
I shot up the radio.
and like maybe a few weeks down the road you find another piece and it's like an update of that,
Mm,
or maybe you run across a story character of that Jacob guy or whatever it was that I used for a name there,
right.
and change things up. I will say that there's going to be I have some really really interesting stuff um, planned for changing the dynamic once again.
Before you
Uh,
get there, did you ever play the old Resident Evil and Silent Hill games where you would find like a little journal entry that had nothing to do
mhm.
with like the plot?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like that. But then you kind of get like hooked into it. I see what you're saying. Like you find
Mhm.
another one, and then it's like, ah, that's what happened to the little guy.
It's funny that you mentioned like the old Resident Evils because I actually it's one of my prize little possessions that I still have that's in my basement right now. Is my game stuff. I have one of those long box old original Resident Evil
Oh, dude.
hard copies for my old PS1 back in like whatever '96 or whatever it was.
Right.
Um, long box like the old Sega CDs.
Yeah.
And
They're worth a lot of money these days, believe it or not.
mm. Um, I wanted it to be like that when people find things, and I thought about that actually earlier today when Rogue was messaging me in the lore ticket, and I'm like, she's like, did I find anything? I looked in this guy's pockets, dead body's pockets. Did I find anything? And I respond like you would see in like a Resident Evil, where it's like, you look in here, but your result that you find is nothing, valuable or whatever, right?
Right.
And I'm like, you look inside this dead priest pockets, and you find nothing except for like lint and hard candy. You
Right.
know? And it's like, oh, fuck. So you're still looking, and
Yeah, because
check the landscape, and you maybe you find nothing that you want, but it's something else to work with.
yeah, 'cause I guess if you know everything's gonna be like a discovery or a prize, it might
Mm,
like kind of turn you off from.
mm.
It might not feel so special when you do find, like a.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I can see that. I can see that point. Yeah, dude, I was in an old game, mom and pop gaming store that has like every video game you can imagine. You can even go in there and play like Super Nintendo setup display like they had it back in the
Yeah.
day. But they got Resident Evil Nemesis for the PlayStation there. It's
Oh yeah.
$160.
Ooh.
I'm like, dude, I just threw these things away to my nephews and shit. Like,
That's why I bring it up. I'm so sad. One of my favorite games of all time, and I've got so many different versions of it and HD versions and shit like that. Was Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the original PlayStation,
oh, okay.
right? And I had an original copy back in the day, and it was pristine. Like this thing was, it wasn't a classic, was the greatest hits version or whatever. It was the original,
Right.
beautiful thing. And upon moving from when I was in middle school to high or whatever, it just vanished. And now for the exact same copy that I had, those fetch like $800 to $1,000 or more, and I'm
That's
like, you
wild.
fucking suck.
Yeah.
I hate you all. um, oh yeah, hey, Kelly said she almost had to listen to Svetlana talking, um, and yeah, Svetlana um, is Kelly is Rogue. Yeah, she did help with some voice work. Um, I said at the beginning before we actually launched AAO, a before we
Yeah,
launched against all odds.
that's what I'm trying to say.
um, I said, hey, if you had some ideas for lore, some like side little, maybe it's not necessarily to do with lore, but like side stories, side little mission type
Right.
things, by
Little
all means,
nugget.
submit them in. Yeah, and I'll place them in random spots, and maybe somebody will find it, and have some involvement, right? And no, I called upon her for something with a piece of lore, and actually ended up running with it a little further. So I implemented a little bit of her story that she gave me to work from into a little backstory to a couple of the characters in the main lore. Um, Without actually, nobody's actually discovered all of that yet, so I'm not going to spoil it necessarily. But yeah, I kind of intertwined it and sewed that into the lore itself. But yeah, that is her voice. If you if you find the piece of Svetlana, if you find the record sleeve or the record, the what was it, Under the Stars?
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, she played a character. She ran with it in the zombie channel in Discord. In the Discord. Um, She's having fun with it. She's like, all right, this zombie, I'm going to name this, and this is the reason she's going to be here. And she threw out a name for a zombie. And I'm like, that's cool. She's like, oh, this is the backstory of my zombie. She was going all out with it. Um, you know, so I'm not going to reveal anything. So yeah, we used that and we just kind of ran with it. I'm like, that sounds like a pretty cool character. We'll have that as a side story,
Yeah, because that's
and
become like
that's
one
what
of
we're gonna do.
Phoenix's
hmm
things.
hmm Maybe that throws people off. Maybe people look up and that's part of what I was always looking at too. Is you have the head honcho, the one who runs the whole show, right? That Victor, right? And then you got his attack dog, Phoenix. And it's like, hmm, you keep hearing all these stories about Phoenix. You keep hearing, this guy is going after everybody. What about Victor? Is that guy still alive? He's the one that caused all this stuff? And I kind of implant little things as Peter, like, well, hey, if we, everybody's talking about killing Phoenix. All right, well, he's just like the attack, dog. If you kill him, there's going to be plenty of people that follow. You need to find Victor. Like, where's Victor? Is he alive? Because if Phoenix dies, Victor's the one that makes all these zombies. He's the one that's making these mummies. He's the one that's experimenting on people. He's just going to keep going. You got to chop the head off of the snake.
Yeah.
Um, kind of make people think. Um, I I used some of the ones that you sent in the Google Doc, Kelly. There's some things I've modified, um, but people haven't found all of the things. Um, I've got shit all over the map, man. I've got crypts in like different spots of the maps. I have caves that like have little exploration areas. There's spots that are crazy cool that I'd like to see people check out. And it's just crazy because like the map is so big still, and you know, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Um,
the more you see, the more you are like, when whether that's not supposed to be there.
I think if anything that I would do next time when we switch around, because we the plan is to keep this going until it gets stale. This story, I guess, of the season. We look at each session, each drop of group. Every group or whatever it was, 30 days or whatever that we were doing. Um, each session like that um, refreshes it, right? And it kind of makes everything kind of seem new a little bit here and there, right? If it started to get stale and people start to like, then eventually we'll swap over and I have a whole new lore set up and a lot of really cool things that could happen future wise, kind of planned up on the side. But
Do you see? Because I feel like the appeal of the server is like, well, you can live a week or you can go a year.
mhm, mhm. um,
So like, how would you feel about like Phoenix?
oh, you cut off a little bit. How would I feel about what?
How would that would be wild, wouldn't it? Like if you were like Phoenix in a year and you're still playing the character.
I have plans of, like I said, if things get stale, and people are like, then,
Well, I mean, there'd be a
with
lot of
thoughts of,
development. It could be like a
yeah,
completely different dude.
hmm I could go we could go, future wise, do some skips. You could do a completely different lore. Either way, I have stuff backed, or on the side basically, with stories that I have planned if this happens, if that happens,
Right.
if we end up going a completely different lore, I have a whole different lore set. Um, I mean, I'm the crazy motherfucker that like yeah, I legit, and I say this all the time jokingly, and it's 100% true. I have a Google Doc, right, that has, at this point, it's about, last I checked, there are 34 different characters that I have that I've never used, fully fleshed out, full backstory, full bio, all this super crazy detail. Like I'll be, sitting on my couch at like 3, 4 in the morning right before I go to bed, and I'm like, man, this would be a really cool character. Da, 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 da. And I just start, filling this shit out. Um, and I just have so many things just saved up,
Right.
in my Google Drive, like of all these stories and things like that that we can do. Um,
Yeah, I mean the appeal though is like that Phoenix could be around in a year from
oh
now,
yeah,
and you could
oh
just
definitely.
have so much character development on them that he's just like
Hmm.
not even the
Hmm.
same. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
You could have something like a Walking Dead type thing, where, excuse me, where you had oh my gosh, Jesus Christ, Negan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Went from being, oh shit, he's that big bad guy of, such and such season or a couple seasons or whatever, and hey, now he's hanging with the good guys, even though he
Right,
killed half your fucking crew. And,
right.
I mean, I feel like Yeager, if he gets his hands on Phoenix, it would be a Braveheart situation, but um,
Get him.
running across the fields, charging at each other, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that could be anything. Range of dynamic could change so quickly. Um,
Negan. Say
um,
honey.
I've met Jeffrey Dean Morgan a few times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Um, lots and lots of people. I've
Oh
met.
shit. You get like Comic Cons or
Yeah, well, I do a lot of cons, or I did a lot of cons before, but there's I have a lot of friends and connections in different places, and because I I'm the same way, in Discord, or over headset like this, that I am in real life. I feel like everything that you do, every way that I live my life is going to be just laid back, but just real, right? I say it all the time. If you meet me and you have the time to talk or whatever, I'm going to be the most honest, straight up, open, and real fucking person that you'll meet, right? Um, and I've been told by some, like, celebrities and shit, that I've literally, I was saying, Curtis Armstrong, I was saying this morning in the Discord. If you know of the guy, he was Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, right? Yeah, he was in Supernatural. He was in a bunch of shows. Um, and after a con, I had a bunch of drinks and stood at I was at a bar hanging out with him. We are just shooting the shit about stuff, and it's like, yeah, I'm just a regular dude. Like, hey, they're just fucking regular dudes. Same thing, We're just,
right.
and I've had so many. I've had probably half dozen celebrities or whatever tell me, like, oh hey, like, you're just a regular dude. I'm glad you're not like all over me, or like fanboying out or whatever. Like lots of people that I've done like that, musicians that um, I've, without even knowing who the hell she was, the singer from that band Paramore, Haley Williams.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, shared a drink with her, um, without even knowing who the hell she was. Um, at a show when she was, we were at a show. My wife and I were at a show with, to go see. She was going to see Newfound Glory, and I guess she was either married or dating or whatever. One of the members there. I didn't know who the hell she was. I was at a bar, at the bar of the club, and she was there. And I come over, and she's like, "That was Ed Williams." I'm like, "Who?" I was like, I was chatting her about some random
Yeah.
shit. Like, I have no idea. It's just regular people. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I just,
Playing the long game, man. I get
yeah,
you.
man. I'm just a regular old motherfucker. Like, I will be the most honest, truly open, regular dude that you'll see. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm not gonna hide things. I feel like people should just be honest and open. Don't be fake. Um, that's my uh, bit of advice. Kelly, my controller is charging. It's like she was asking when I was gonna jump on. I was like, I don't know if I jump in to the podcast at like 10 and maybe like 11 or 11:30, whatever. And um, yeah, I got my controller charging anyway.
Oh yeah, man. I
Um,
thought you agreed to like 6 hours at least. I mean, we gotta. We got the Doritos I got for
what's
you.
what's your what area are you like? You're not Eastern time, right? Right.
No, special time. We got the. It
S-
is 9 o'clock.
Special time.
Yeah, we don't go
Uh,
forward or backwards. It's the same all year. I like it, man. Though. It's
ah. What? What's
uh,
up? That's not mountain time, right? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is special time? The fuck is that? I've never really fucking.
we're
What's
like
it?
the only state that does it in the entire
What the
country.
fuck? I'll fucking Google this shit right now.
Yeah.
Special time. This is fucking special time, lying asshole. Uh, fucking special time.
We went on. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Right. Now I'm on the East Coast myself. Uh, I am in. I'm a New England
Oh,
guy.
it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it is. It's 12:10 actually, to be accurate.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
This is kind of like
Um,
your time though, right? Because I've seen you.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I've seen. I've caught up with a couple streams, man. One of them was really relaxing. Like it was hitting me, like on all the
Yeah,
ASMR, all that
yeah,
stuff.
man. That was a cool
Lake.
game I was playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
Lake.
cool game. It was a
Yeah.
cool little it was. I tell you, it was boring as fuck, but it was relaxing. Literally just drive around in a little town and drop off packages. I ended up just deleting it because I, I ended up getting stuck in a like bugged into a house in like a porch or something. Like I walked up and I got my character got stuck inside,
Mm.
and it was one of those games that the save saved you in the exact spot.
Oh, it's that
So
too.
I would have had to start the whole fucking thing over after days of down. I'm like, nope, not
Jeez.
enough, nope.
Sounds like a good old fashioned
Yeah,
Nintendo game. Let's get restart.
yep, yep. I'm not blowing in that cartridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Yeah, this
Anytime.
it's a different, completely different vibe. I think we got it going.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any other questions or if you whatever, just by all means let me know and I'll pop back on as long as I'm available. I'm a superstar and everybody wants me to hang out and stuff, so I gotta
Right?
fill
Yeah,
in their
man.
spot. But you know,
I'm gonna
uh,
make sure that chip bowl is filled up next time.
yeah,
I'm gonna
damn it,
take
it
care of
better
you.
be filled. It better be filled, and the fridge when I open it up, there better be beer in that fridge, man, because it was running dry and I Joe Rogan would not do this to me. All right,
Yeah, oh
he would
yeah.
let me on the yeah, he would give me. I'd have a blunt and beer right now, from him, and it would be fantastic. And I would drink because I don't smoke. So,
I know. I think
um,
sometimes people just go in there and they get fucked up.
yeah, yeah. I don't, I don't.
Like he's always got like some fancy. Did you see Cat Williams on there?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Dude.
hey, I got a question. There's a question. There's a question. There's a question. There's a question. I got a question.
Oh, Kelly Keane
Yeah,
coming.
see, huh? How long have I been role playing? All right. We're gonna go into the deep AM or ASMR type voice here. Um, so I've been role playing in DayZ for uh, about
I gotta lean back
just
for
about
this.
yeah. See, just sit back and close your eyes, cause here we go. I'm gonna take you on an adventure. Now, I I've been I've been RPing with DayZ for probably just under 4 years, a little over 3 years. Um, and I've been all over the place. Like I said, I had a SAMP, San Andreas multiplayer PC RP community that had, like, we were top of the fucking line, man. We back in the day we had it was an RP community, and I made sure that it was like tight knit, legit RP. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna drive around and run into shit and be an asshole. Nope, this was legit. Like I wanted to make sure that everything was tight knit and ran the right way. One of my admins back in the day in San Andreas multiplayer
San
was an
Andreas. Holy shit.
yep, dude, back fucking PC, man. I I had an admin that ran the police faction back then. That was a he actually worked for the LAPD and would he ran everyone through the course of like what they would do introductory, like pulling pullovers and the same call signs and call signals. And this guy like ran people through the ringer. All right, I'm like we did it legit, but that was probably about 4 years ish of running that and RPing in that. Um, See, the one thing I miss, like I said, the coding is similar, right, with the editor. But one thing I miss that I know you can do in DayZ on PC is being able to spawn wherever. So if like somebody's being an asshole, I can spawn right on top of that asshole, right?
Right.
Back in the day, San Andreas multiplayer, we had we had a lot of people who would I mean, you have it happen in DayZ. I've seen plenty of people, even fairly recently, uh, simp like fucking crazy over people and do some creepy ass shit right? Over people if they're of the opposite sex, right?
Oh yeah, trying to get in those Discord
Yeah, yeah.
panties. Yeah.
And I would jump in and like I tell all the females in our server at the time, you know, hey, if just let me know, send me over a message if this shit's happening. And I remember I had a I had a character that I jumped in with in San Andreas multiplayer. Again, it's completely different environment. It wasn't zombies or anything. It was just
All
like a
right.
regular run-of-the-mill thing. I would jump in as a transvestite prostitute named Dixie Normus, and I would jump in, spawn right in front of them, and yeah, I hear you wanna challenge a you wanna talk to somebody real nice. Yeah, I'm gonna dance for you, boy. Come here, and just make them feel uncomfortable. It's like, all right, well, you
Buffalo
did
Bill.
this, you put it on yourself. Oh, I miss stuff like that. I miss being able to spawn in any spot and just troll the fuck out of somebody who's being an asshole, right? If you if you're in the Daisy community and you are, I hope that face is for Dixie Normus because she was a she was a working girl, man, and her whole story, you know, it was a hard thing to deal with, man. She like working up and down those ranks and up and down those streets, man. But she came to work every single day,
Mm,
and you know, she
putting in
it
that
was
time.
hard, yeah. Like, how many innuendos can I throw into this? Um, but what the fuck was I even saying? Oh, it's like I if there's people on the server that are playing and they're new to RP or they're in a situation where they're not sure how to do something, I'm fine. Hey, tell me, hey, I'm not sure how to do this. Open book, right? DM me,
All right.
message me, make a ticket, whatever. I'm fine with that. If you're an asshole, right, and you're being a rude asshole, or you're being a troll, or intentionally trying to start shit, that's when the side of me comes out that you do not want to see. As you know me enough, I'm nice. Kelly, you know me enough. I'm nice. Um, but don't don't make the very sarcastic version of me, the asshole version of me, come out because it's there, and people have done that, and it's not very nice. Don't be a troll. Be nice.
That's
Be nice to people.
I could see, yeah, like a young, like a teenager getting invested in role play and thinking, oh, like I got like some kind of romantic interest in the game, so we're gonna like try to
Hmm.
ask for like some titty pics or something. Like
So
that's
that it's not.
fucking
So
bizarre,
you would
dude.
think you would think that it would just it would maybe be like some like little snot. And I say this as a generalization, but you'd think it would be some like little snot nosed kids. But I will tell you that there are way more like I find way more like 20 something, like late 20 something, people
Mm.
who will do some things like that. And there's a few people that I know from past experiences, be it they're again no longer in our midst. Without going, I'm not going to name drop anyone, obviously, but there's there were plenty of people that I know that um, had done some or tried to do some things with people who they knew were not of the age bracket, and they still tried.
Oh damn.
And
Okay.
that makes me a very, very angry panda. And that's something that I don't play with at all. Um, again, if there's two things that I stand true with, right? And I think you'd agree in the same aspect. Anybody who is trying to do anything with somebody who it's completely unwanted, first off, but with somebody who's uh, of the younger variety, right? Uh, I will, I no no excuse can make that acceptable, right? And somebody who is uh, trying to out of character make somebody want to go through like a battle of depression or like actually insult somebody more. Like there's plenty of people that know me from SOS or any other service before that know that I don't roll with that. And if you're a piece of shit that does that to people, then you know more power to you. You should probably rethink your life choices. These things are
Yeah, it's mine.
there's more important shit. Yeah, there's more important shit to
It's
deal with in the
mind-boggling,
world.
really.
Yeah, like I don't fucking understand why people. There's so many people who are just assholes to people for no fucking reason. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, you see that in a lot of roleplay servers. Like this one's been really fairly nice. Everybody's been cool, but you do see a lot of it's something about roleplay servers, man. People get toxic.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like in general, you can sure throw a jab at somebody here and there, but like people flock and you see the true and that's the thing. Like in roleplay servers, I feel like you see the true colors of certain people. You know,
All right.
like I'll jab buddies and stuff if I was playing duty or something. Like I have buddies that I'm like insult them or whatever, but like it's the jabs back and forth, and that's just like you know
Oh yeah, I mean
me and
like
you
pure
banter or whatever.
rage. Like you'll see
Yeah,
people just
exactly.
rage.
Yeah, like there's that, and then you go into like an RP realm where people uh, it's not like just the in character stuff where they're taking things out of character in character and vice versa. They they're like on the Discord and they're like actually bashing somebody over whether they have like we don't have the face reveals thing, but if people reveal their face and they're like insulting them, oh, what the fuck, this person looks like an idiot. Like
All
shit like
right.
that's not called for, man. Like I don't care who you are, right? Like let's just let fucking people be, like
Yeah, it's just have
there's
fun role playing.
it, yeah, like everybody's there for the same reason, right? It's to role play, it's to have fun, and most people do it to step away from their like real life situations, right? Use it as an outlet. So like, what the fuck? Don't be an asshole to people, right? Um, that's the biggest like thing I just wish like people would take away, like in their everyday life, right? Um, in the Discord, in the server, when you're living your regular life, right? just there's so much more important shit to deal with. Like, don't be a fucking asshole to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't
waste.
I
It's a
don't
waste of
get
time.
why. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I know some people can get passionate about certain things.
Hmm.
Like sometimes I'll feel guilty and be like,
Mm.
what? Like, why am I? Why do I? Like, why do I care about this? Like, this is. I'm just doing this for fun. Like, why am I spending this much time thinking about this? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can get sucked into it's like
Hmm.
Jesus Christ, like I need to step
Hmm.
back. Like this is
And like you just said, like sometimes you'll get sucked into it, and then afterwards you'll be like, you because you're not one of those true assholes, as they say, for lack of better terms, right? Like when you step away, you're like, "Fuck, did I just do that? Why the fuck did I just do that?" There's so much
right.
worse things, like, But then you get those people who they'll step back and they'll be like, "Yep, that's right. I'm right all the time. Fuck
Oh
this
yeah.
person." Like
Yeah.
that. Like, come on, man. Like I follow a lot of sports, and going NFL draft is in less than a month, and that shit gets really wild and rowdy.
Oh yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about that, and I follow a bunch of my like New England sports, and I message over, and I'm like, oh hey, I think they should draft this guy. And this morning, actually, I replied over on a podcast on a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I think they should draft, do so and so, do this. Um, and immediately I get this person who's like, "Fuck you, you're an idiot. You didn't
Start
watch any college football. You
shitting
didn't do
on
this." I'm
you.
like, "Dude, what? Relax. Like, do you have anything else
It's
better to
just my
do? Like,
opinion, dude.
yeah, like, I'm fine with having a conversation. And like I said in the
Yeah.
Discord with the thing too. Like, I'm fine with having a conversation with people and to discuss something. But like, you can discuss something and be an adult about it, or you can discuss something and you can you can tell me, this is what I think, this is the reasons, this is the positive, the negative, the what, and you can have a discussion, and that's fine. And I'm open to discussion all the time. You know, Part of the reason why, like on the Discord, I still have open, and it should be viewable for everybody still. The what the hell is it? The feedback. Uh, Anybody can open up a feedback um, message and say, "Oh, hey, I don't think that, I think there's too many, I think there's too many zombies, whatever." Like, oh,
All
well,
right.
all right, well, I think the reason for that is this, right? I think, and having a conversation and discussion, perfectly fine. Like, I'm cool with that. I want people to be open. I want there to be transparency. You know, um, if like Wyla said before, if there's a ticket and you're curious about it, you want to know, like you've done it already. Like, hey, I want to see so and so. Can I see this thing? Yeah, by all means, man. Like it's open book, right?
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Um,
especially if something like huge happens
yeah,
to you
by all means.
specifically. It's like,
Discuss. We can discuss. We can go over it. If somebody jumps in and they try to play, lawyer up of a person who is in a ticket, no, I'm not gonna fucking run with that. No, like this isn't this isn't let's it's it's not real life that people think is real life, where you're the loudest, most rude person, you're gonna get your way. Like I
oh
work
right,
retail,
yeah, yeah, that
you
never
know.
works.
I've worked retail for about 20 years, right? And the people try to talk. I've done retail management for about 20 years, and people who think that they can be the loudest and get their way are very surprised when they try that with me, and I kill them with kindness, but I don't give them what they want, because you that's not how fucking life works. You can't just be the loudest, most brunt, abrasive piece of shit and expect to get
Yeah,
over.
it's like a little,
You
kind
know?
of like a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
You
that
know?
attitude. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
get
that
it. You
gets you
just,
put on hold.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah, man. I was in the food service. That's what I did. People come in. don't even
Hmm.
know you, like second word out of their mouth's a cuss word, and you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Well.
butter you up because I'm not wasting my time on this. Like, whatever you want, fuck it, here you go. I was the
Yeah.
opposite too. Just like, take it. I don't give a fuck. This ain't my food. I'm not listening to this shit, man.
Oh,
But
like,
no, I feel you though.
uh,
Like in other
yeah.
situations, yeah, a lot of people can get like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially on
Don't like people
DayZ.
to miss stuff.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I was a mod on another server for a little while, and that was the
Hmm.
majority of the tickets. It was like just people just getting crazy over something, dude.
Hmm.
And some of it's
Hmm.
understandable. I mean, but like at the same time, it's like, geez, this can really suck you in.
Hmm. I I get when, especially like a situation like ours, where it's you get knocked out on a con by a zombie, and sorry, that's the end of your life, right?
Mm.
Now I can understand after, just like Skins, like you said, how many times like he's had a character for 3 months, and then out of nowhere, boom, we go in to get a radio, and boom, he's dead, right? Like
Right.
I can understand, if somebody makes a ticket after that and they say, shit, like really, like I'm kind of pissed off, like I did this and this, and now this happened, what the hell, right? That I can get that, because yes, you've lived with that character for X amount of time, and that's part of you, and you don't want to see it just disappear like that, by just something stupid, right? But if you take a second, you breathe her, and you go, oh fuck, all right, I understand, sucks, deal with it, right? That is what I want people to look at. I don't go for like somebody being like, well, you're gonna fucking change this for me. This is bullshit. Listen, like, no, like, just sorry, suck it up, pull your pants up, and suck that gut in, because like
Yeah,
you
it's
got to
just makes
tighten that belt a little bit, right? Pants are gonna stay on, um, unless pants come off, but it's a different story,
it's a whole
different
different
situation.
ticket right there.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I have those tickets are in there too, but they're just hidden. They,
All right.
you have to go through some
It's like a
captchas and stuff.
it's like a
Uh,
special one. Yeah.
I died because zombies crawled into the car, glitching on top of one another. It made sense for a Laura to get bitten and die in that way. There you go. Accepting your fate. Like,
Thought you got
like
shot.
I, um, on another server, I could have easily fight. I was gonna say fighting. Wow, what a fucking dumbass I am. Holy shit. Anyway, I was in another server, and I could have fought a death of a character very easily. Could have overturned it. Would have been fine. But like a man. Uh, but I decided to go against it and just say, all right, cool, I died. This is the end of a character, because it fit well the way it happened, And I'm like, all right, this is the end of this character. Like the end of it fit really well to it. Even though I could have fought it, I could have kept living and all that. Like it worked out so well. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna go with it. Um, made people cry, and I've had.
It's like a good
That's
good
one thing I like.
send off.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good emotional.
yeah. I like that. Emotional RP is my thing. I love emotional RP. I've had so many characters that are like father figures, or like actual fathers to like other characters, and I play that role so well that, like, when that person dies, or when something bad happens to that person, like, I've had so many people actually tear up, pull me into party, pull me into like a DM, and just be like, dude, like, I'm actually crying. Like, this is like legit. Like, I'm I'm holding back tears. I had I had somebody crying for a good hour over a character death that I had. I'm in a party at like almost 4 in the morning, like just consoling her, like, like this
Jesus
is
Christ.
like, I understand this is a lot, like, like, yeah, it's like losing an actual father. It's like this. I'm like, yeah, and that makes me feel good. Never forget, like
It feels like
a
you
character of mine.
had an
Yeah,
impact.
like you hit
Yeah, on 'em.
exactly. You like pulled the strings.
Yeah.
Like I've had a character. One of my first big characters that I had. Most of my time, I try to tell people all the time, like step out of your boundaries, step out of your comfort zone, right? So those people that to segue a sec, real quick, and I gotta wrap up, but I want to keep talking. Uh, when people died in against all odds, and I've seen multiple people after they died, and they come back, and as a new character in a new session, and they say, for example, I'm gonna go to the um, the castle, or I'm gonna go to where everybody is because I need something to RP. There's nobody else anywhere. I ask them to step out of their comfort zone and start the RP. You know, start yourself a little small area community. Sure, go back over to the castle. Hey, guess what? I have this little community thing that I'm starting over here. Anybody who wants, safe haven, come here, do it, and try to bring people over, right?
Mm.
Like, um, and I back in the day before all my characters I used to have were all like sideline. Nobody, like I barely talked to people. I didn't expand anything. I stood in my comfort zone and didn't really do much, right? Like I was there, right? I didn't want to be a main character. I never want to be a main character. I don't have that main character syndrome. Um, I I was just this extra, far out extra, right? And I opened up and expanded beyond my comfort zone. And my first big character I did that was outside of my comfort zone was a father figure type character, and I think that's why I feel so comfortable doing it. Um, and after that character died, it felt ridiculously awesome to go on Discord and see a barrage of, I shit you not, probably about 15 different DMs from different people being like, holy fuck, your character died. I watched that. That's crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm never going to get to RP with this character again. Like, I don't. And looking at it and being like
Mm.
bittersweet, like, fuck, like, I really touched these people's, like, emotions. I've really touched, like, they are actually like, shit, I'm never going to get to see this character again, you know? Um, and I think that's a good thing. The feeling of like, we're doing something that means more than just, oh, you die, you're gonna come back. You're
Yeah,
instantly
yeah.
back. It's like there's a lot on the line. Your character dies. That's a life that is now over. You know. So, but yeah,
It does
I
make you,
won't.
yeah, take into account too everybody else's lives as well. It's
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
like you said, yeah, man. It's like, oops, well, shit, they're gone. Like I don't get to role play with them no more. Well, you're never gonna get. You could role play with them down the road, but it's not gonna be that same bond,
Yeah.
that same
Hmm.
relationship, the same dynamic.
Yeah. Exactly. I tend to not use any of the same characters again. That's my personal thing. Um, because I want it to always be fresh. I don't want to be, if I'm RPing as like let's say Peter right now, right, as my one of my story characters, right, that you've run into, like if that was my one of my main characters, right, I got really close to or like had a really good in character friendship with like Sim, and Kelly's character, right? Um, I'm not going to be. I don't personally like coming back in a different season, a different session, a different whatever, um, different lore even as like, oh, I'm this Peter character with all the same attributes, same
Yeah,
everything, right?
yeah,
I would rather be completely different because I want to treat every one of these characters as their own individual life. Once they're dead, they're gone. You don't get that back, you know. Like there's no you got to RP with this person or with this character as much as you can, or else when they're gone, they're gone. That's your only opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's an
That's
interesting
the way I
way
treat
to.
it.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
that seems like a good way to do it. Plus, you're not living up to your old, because you might have old expectations or like old character traits that might have
Mm.
developed over weeks, and then you try to just grab all that at the same time if you're doing a old one.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, hey,
No, I see what you're saying.
I'll stop. I'll stop rambling because I have a tendency of keep going and going and going. You gave me inspiration though, real quick before I go.
Oh,
You
excuse
gave
me.
me inspiration to do. Oh yeah, I see. I'm boring. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. All right. No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. And I was going to
Well,
share this beer with you, so
it was
fuck you. No. Uh, I
no, man. Thank you. No, thank you
I
for.
yeah, no problem. But you inspired me to because I've wanted to um, I've wanted to upload stuff, on my YouTube and actually stick with it and do things like that. So I've been doing more streaming of just random games and stuff. Been uploading some shorts here and there. I was happy a couple of my Daisy shorts within a couple of days got like 3,000 views or something. I'm
Oh
happy
shit.
with that. And
As well.
yeah, it was cool little shit. So, and I kind of wanted to do like a little, not a, you know, necessarily like a game podcast, but just like a little, chat type session thing. And I think I'm gonna end up doing something like that, just to shoot the shit, drink some beers and just shoot the shit, sometimes, and maybe do something like that. So if I do end up doing it, well, you will be a guest.
Oh, there you go,
So.
dude. That's actually refreshing to hear. Somebody else.
Yeah,
It's so fun to just talk to people about the server and the
yeah.
game. Um, it's fun to hear other people's perspectives. He's just sleepy now, poor guy. A
No,
little
he's
bit.
not.
I
No,
could
he's
probably
no, he's not
go.
sleepy. He's bored. He's bored about me. Yeah. No. Yeah. Sleepy. Was it like 9 o'clock? You said it's like 9:30, right? Almost 10 o'clock for you.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
like 50?
No, I'm getting there. I'm in shape of my life. Great
Yeah. Yeah.
age.
Yeah. I'm. Uh. I don't. Are you older than I? No.
I
No.
doubt it. I doubt it.
No. You're not.
I'm saying that as a
No.
bad
You're
thing.
you're a young spry thing. Uh. I. I. Uh, I am. I'm 36. Going to be
Really?
37 in a couple months. Yep. And
We're the
I.
same age.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
And I have been staying up until 3, 4 in the morning since I was a wee 17-year-old.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ. Okay.
I did not even know you were the same age.
No, I could go. I mean,
Yeah,
if
sure
you
you
want to
can.
threaten me,
Sure
let's
you need.
we can
Yeah.
do
No.
this all night.
No. No.
Like, let
No.
me go get
No.
some
No. No.
other
I don't
one.
need you. I don't need you to bust down any pills, okay? You don't need to keep going, all right? No, and you in your old age, fucking, nah. I'll jump. I'm gonna jump in and get a little RP going
Gotcha.
to,
Gotcha.
get some story progression there. Um,
Yeah, I don't
and
blame you, dude.
yeah,
It's
I
fun.
appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, dude. I would like to come back, circle around, and give it some time for stuff to develop out. See what happens.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much.
Definitely yourself a little
Sorry
bit.
about the Doritos.
It's okay, but I
I'm
have
gonna
more
talk.
Doritos next time. Mail them to me. Mail them to me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna talk to somebody about that.
Okay, talk to your people. I'll talk to my people.
There you go. Thank you, Kelly, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Really do.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
have
drink
yourself
some warm milk. Go to bed.
some warm milk. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Yep. And have some hot cocoa and put a blankie on and go night night. So,
yeah.
yeah, you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, but later, dude. Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Ooh, excuse me. Now he's making me. I'm just made me tired from all that talking about being tired. Yeah, I'm getting numbs. We had Dane, and then we had Nuns. We had a double feature. So, um, yeah, got some other people coming up for the next week or two, if you're interested. But yeah, I is out of here. Thanks for stopping by.